Hello everyone, welcome to the Limited Adhesion Radical Championship for round 5. We're at Lime Rock this week. My name's Gareth and joining me as ever is Jim, our resident motorsport journalist. How are you doing, Jim?
Well, great introduction. Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you, Gareth? Very excited for this one?
I am hyped as ever for this one, yeah. So we had a fantastic battle last time out between Gavin Kelly and new joiner Mark Tranter. Just heel and toe all the way, nip and tuck all the way to just 2 minutes from the end, which denied us our grandstand finish. But what a battle. And let's hope for some more of that this week. Do you think it can happen?
I certainly hope so. Trying to put in a stellar performance for a debut, very impressive, and might actually give Kelly a bit of a run for his money for the championship, which he was originally running away with, but with a few rounds get deducted at the end of the season, maybe it could be a neck-and-neck fight.
Good point, yeah. So, as you say, looking at the top of the championship at the moment, Kelly's got a 40-point lead from Hankin and Miller. So, let's talk about this week's track, because we're going from the flat-out long stretch of the Roval to a very tight and twisty Lime Rock.
Yeah, it's almost an oval itself. You say about the flat outness of it. It's fairly flat out if you've got the confidence to go around it. So it's an interesting track with the big bend first corners, and the entire first sector is a bit trying to keep your foot and toe down and up and down and up and down and up, trying to get that throttle under control. And then when you get past the couple of the S's, then you're into an uphill section. The corner called the uphill, and you almost take off as you crest over. In fact, I think a couple of the drivers probably will if they really can keep their speed up, and it's pretty much flat out then if you can, if you've got the balls to do it around the second to last corner. And then that's really key, because that will give you an extra half a second before you get back to that first sector. It's a really short track, but it should be pretty compelling for the drivers to go around.
Yeah, super short lap, as you say. Understeer definitely going to be an issue through those S's and things, trying to get the front end into those corners. This Radical does like to push wide when you get the throttle opened. And as you say, West Bend probably key to most of the overtaking moves on the lap. So, speaking of laps, let's have a look at our pole lap.
So we're on board with pole sitter Kelly. He's coming down the Sam Posey Straight, and he's going to go for braking marker just before the one board. It's a long right-hander, can control the oversteer, and very well done. Back on the power, now going into the long left-hander. Takes a very nice tight inside line, which gives him the outside, outside as he goes through the second with the big bends. Now it's going to be flat out until you hit the braking marker just before the uphill corner, and he just eases off the accelerator slightly, airborne maybe, and then controls it nice around West Bend, which is all the time he needs. Just pivot round, back onto the back straight, full throttle, and there we go, crosses the line, 45.7, that's our pole sitter, Gavin.
Another cracking lap there by Gavin Kelly, and let's take a look at the rest of the grid form up behind him.
Yeah, so we've got Gavin Kelly on pole with that 45.7, and Burnett comes with a cracking time and ends up on the second row with him. Then Tranter has got a 46.1 and is joined alongside with Tony Hankin with a 46.4 on the second row. Line and Batty make up row 3, 45.4 and a 46.8, with Gary Jones with a pretty good qualifying there, just ahead of Dixon, with a 47.1 and a 47.5 respectively. And bringing up the rear, we've got Winslade with a 48.4 and Ledge, not Lauren, Ledge with a 49.9. And Kimberly and Miller failed to set a time this week, presumably going off the track, maybe a bit too aggressive and not trusting the car with the cold tyres.
Thanks, Jim. And here we are on the grid for round 5 then of the Radical Championship from Limited Adhesion. And away they go with a lot of wheel spin there. And Tranter's had a cracking start all the way from third on the grid. He's into the lead.
Amazing there. Burnett got a lot of wheel spin, has slid down the order a little bit, and we've got somebody off the track right at the back. Was that Batty?
Oh, Stephen Batty stopped there in the household T1. I think he had a jump start there.
Oh, unlucky there. That would be devastated with that after doing pretty well qualifying there.
Yeah, and Gavin Kelly making up, he's attacking Tranter straight away to get back into the lead.
Yeah, the nose to tail through there.
Yeah, Dave Lyon in P3 trying to stay in that group with them. Little gap back to, that's Tony Hankin with a new skin again in P4.
You can already see just how quick this track is. They're all flat out, and they're already on lap 2 as they cross the line. So we've got Tranter, Kelly, Line, Hankin, Jones, Dixon, Burnett, Winslade, Miller, Kimberley, Ledge, and Batty. Batty's in the pits. He must be serving that penalty.
Yeah, and that was Winslade having a look on the inside of Burnett in T1 there. Burnett had an awful start. He was P2 on the grid.
He'll be kicking himself. Oh, there's something's happened in the background. There's a big crash. Who's involved in that? Oh, that is a very sad-looking car.
That's Hankin, isn't it?
Yeah, the bent back wing. That shows you how much damage and how much chaos happened there. What was that? We'll get a replay, I'm hopeful. But yeah, things gone from bad to worse there for Burnett.
Yeah, Kimberley managed to scamper through though. Take the grass to avoid that.
Yeah. And Kimberley got very defensive already. And this is where there's that half second. Yeah, there you go. Winslade must have got a better drive off that west bend corner, and he's managed to get the overtake. Happen three corners later.
Slightly savage chop by Winslade there, which I wouldn't say Kimberley deserved after
we all know
fair drive down the straight.
Yeah, we all know Winslade is a terrible, dirty driver, so it's unsurprising, really.
He can be a bit of a savage. Here we go, Gary Jones with his new Jaguar-inspired Eddie Irvine livery this week.
Doesn't it look good?
It looks amazing. And did you spot he's actually got the Lime Rock gnome on the back of the car as well. Which is a nice tribute to the track. Here's Batty coming back out of the pits. Is that Hankin with him?
Gets nicely out of the way. Well, Jones so far has got his nice little tribute, paying dividends for him in terms of the luck. It's a little lucky charm. He's all the way up in 4th place right now.
Yeah, cracking start from Gary. He's obviously he's been doing a bit of practice on the track, but you can see he's just starting to really get on top of this radical car.
Yeah, it's a bit of cracking driving, avoiding any issues, avoiding the collisions, and he's picked his way up to the top. But he's got quite a lot of pressure behind him now. Dixon and Miller both fancy a chance. Miller going to get a double slipstream on the short straight.
And that's Dixon going through then. And Miller just having a look to the inside, but I don't think he got the job done there.
That'd be very brave if he did. Yeah, Jones loses that position. Is keeping his nose clean, thankfully, and Kimberley looks like he's hassling back to try and get Winslade.
These two, if they're having a clean race, they do seem to end up close to each other on track every week. So.
Indeed. Well, they've got a nice little set of drivers in the midfield at the moment.
Yeah, and just looking up at the front there, you've got Tranter still leading from Kelly, but less than a second with Dave Lyne. He's still in that group as well.
It's very tight all up and down the field, and Miller looking again to try and get past Jones down the straight. He's now getting a lot of company.
You can see the top three are all running a similar pace with the 45.5 to 45.6 compared to everyone else in the 46s and down.
And they're the leaders now.
And there's that crest of the hill you were saying about where you could just about really get airborne.
Really letting the suspension have a bit of a break as they go over that before it gets hammered on this long right-hander.
Yeah.
And we've got
so here's the replay of the start.
Oh, the grip he got there, fantastic. Makes everyone else look like they barely started.
It's a super clean launch. See Burnett, so much wheel spin.
Well done to catch at Burnett, but everyone else sails on past. Lucky
Absolutely.
to get no collisions at the start. Very tentative. The view from Miller at the back here. Very clean, is already up 2 positions. There's Burnett, slow starting, going out on the right. Batty with his jump start on the left.
Yeah, his way was blocked by old Dirty Winslade there.
This is a collision.
That's the oh, geez.
It's gone over twice, and Miller really gives Burnett Well, Burnett was very calm, I'm sure, in his helmet there. He wouldn't be particularly angry at that. He'll be trying to get cool, calm, collected, and think that he can make up some positions later in the race.
Yeah, he probably flowing into a paper bag after that one.
We're back in it, so these are the leaders
So
again. Line is really keeping up with Tranter and Kelly now. It's a real big battle. Any of these three could be getting
Tranter's
the...
just stretching his legs a little bit from Kelly, and Line is on the back of him. So did Kelly make a small error, do you think? Because we normally see him like just always with Tranter, so it makes me feel like he maybe had a tiny oversteer or understeer moment, which just let Line get onto the back of him.
If that understeer and oversteer only drops him back, what, 4, 5, 6 tenths? It says a lot about the quality of these top drivers right now.
Well,
Top
absolutely.
covered
Yeah.
by, what's that, about 2 seconds.
And hunting down, so you can see Burnett there. He's obviously going to be going a lap down if these guys can catch up to the back of him, but he is running the same pace as him. So
He'll
another
be kicking
race.
himself after the issues he's had. That second place start, he'd be right up there with these leading pack.
Yeah, he'd be in the battle for sure.
Has been very unlucky with some of the issues he's had in the race, but still got quite a lot of the season to go. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, the luck will come back to him.
Dixon in the pits now as well, dropping down to 9th place.
Well,
Gary Jones still running 4th.
Yeah, well, Burnett might get another place off Dixon if Dixon's gone in the pits. And there you go, up to 9th. So what have we got here? Still Tranter Kelly line up front. Now we're looking at the battle for 4th. Jones ahead of Winslade and Kimberley. Miller just down the road a little bit, recovering after the crash.
18 seconds back now, Jones from the leaders.
So I just wonder if Miller did lose any of his grip or something when he whipped round Burnett in that incident.
He must have bent the front end of the car when he hit him.
There's a fair old twirl that Burnett had, so that explains Miller's slightly going down the pack, and Winslade running a little bit wide there, or maybe just being a bit more aggressive on the curbs as he tries to catch Jones.
Oh, very wide there. Look, he's on the grass.
Well, I do hope he got a warning for making his car as dirty as he's driving. So we've got the top 3 all covered by about 2 seconds, and now we've got the chasing 3 in similar fashion. Winslade looking on the inside now. Oof, Jones almost outbrakes himself.
A replay now of Jones and Dixon then. This probably explained Dixon's retirement, into the reason he needed to pit anyway. He was dunked to the inside. Coming down to T1.
We've got another...
Oh wow! In the background.
Oh, Rob Miller going into the... That's not where you overtake Miller. There's action going on up and down the pack here. And Jones seems to be in the centre of all of it.
So no explanation there for what happened to Dixon, unfortunately. And can Gary Jones keep Jim Kimberley behind him?
Yeah, Kimberley is going to be lining him up now. Saw how Winslade dispatched of him. Not this lap. Jones seems to keep it tight, a little bit of a lock-up, but Kimberley remains behind, and Winslade will be happy here that the battle should allow him to stretch in front of them.
He's got to take the opportunity to scamper away.
So back with the leading pack now.
Yeah, and we can see that Tranter and Kelly have both put the lap on Burnett, but Line hasn't. He's now being held up. He needs to get past Burnett quickly if he wants to get back onto this lead battle.
Yeah, I'm sure Burnett will be fuming inside his helmet, but he'll be a polite driver, I'm sure, and he's going fast to not do too much of a hold-up. But those 10th of seconds could really be slowing him down now, and Line might be wanting to get past sooner rather than later.
Well, they're running identical pace, as you can see, but you can't get in the way of this of the podium battle.
No, you've been in the dirty air might be affecting him slightly. Oh, and there's
Oh,
that the
did you
ledge. Ledge getting out the way nicely. Gives Kelly an opportunity to get right on the backside of Tranter there.
Did you see Kelly swooping across, trying to take as much slipstream as he could from the ledge as he came through?
It's very brave on that. They're both all these drivers trying to claim every single possible millisecond they can get. It could be that close by the end of this race.
Yeah.
It's almost Kelly's got a really good exit on that hill there. Doesn't fancy it on the inside. It would be brave. He's not as crazy as Rob Miller.
Surely this is a run though to T1.
Kelly going to pick up the slipstream, but inches and inches and inches. He might try and go on the inside. No, happy to run behind him. These two are so evenly matched. They're not trading places like they did last week, but they are right at the front within a second of each other. Without that oval, it's not so easy to overtake, despite how good an exit you can get on those last few corners.
I believe that was actually Dixon that they were putting a lap on, because that's the ledge up ahead of them now.
Oh, I see. Yes, quite right. That's the ledge in his Hassan red livery with rich energy.
So a new paint job for the ledge and a new paint job for Burnett this week. And finally, is that line getting past? It looks like Burnett's now letting him through, and he has.
He has indeed. The line will be trying to chase these guys up, but Burnett hounding the back of him. Of course, it's blue flags being shown.
Yeah, there's got to be a couple of laps there he was held up, so he's going to do a few little.
Yeah, he ends up 2 seconds behind, but Burnett really isn't going much slower than these guys. He'll want to see if he'll be able to keep up with them if he hadn't had such an awful start of the race.
Yeah, he's got to sort of let him through, but at the same time not lose too much time for himself, because where is he running now? He's still running 9th.
It's not bad to get any point you can in this championship.
Yeah, and in fact, is he going to now scamper through to take 8th place from the ledge? Yes, he has. So there's our lead. Oh, did you see that?
It's gone back through again.
Scampered back through. Replay of Dixon here.
Big lock up.
Oh, huge one. He's on top of Miller. And that looked like
I wonder how did that look from Miller's point of view here? All of a sudden the car's going much slower, braking, and I couldn't do much about that. It's not where you expect to find a car. Miller ends up facing the wrong way. Jones, Winslade go through.
And Batty's in as well, and on his side. And I
just isn't getting much better for Batty, is it?
I think that's going to put him into the retirement. You can see how badly the car's damaged.
And where does that leave us then with this chasing pack? So Winslade and Kimberly now through past Jones, and we've got Rob Miller chasing Gary Jones. He's really breathing down his neck. And speaking of breathing down his neck, can Kelly find a way through?
Tranter's gone defensive. That's the first time I've seen him have to do that. I mean, Kelly's on the inside this time.
Gives him space by Tranter. Kelly can have the inside line, but he'll be on the outside. Oof.
There's contact that time.
Clean contact, if there's such a thing. Neither car spin. It's firm but fair racing, I'd say there.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between these guys, which is super cool to see.
It's a tight and twisty track. You can see just there how narrow it is, and you've not really got many overtaking spots. So Kelly's got to be looking for any opportunity he can. He saw one, but Tranter doesn't want to give up the lead.
No, you can see the difference between this track, which is opened in the 50s. So it's a very classic, one of the oldest running road courses in the USA. And you can see the difference between this and a modern course where you just have a much wider track and acres of runoff room.
This is the anti-Tilkedrome, isn't it?
Absolutely. So much grass just waiting to grab your car and put you in the barrier.
There's a lot to be said, I think, for any elevation changes in a track, and this has got every bit of that. The uphill they're going through now. You see the cars, Kelly really struggling to stay on the ground there, and then this nice downhill section to really aid your speed onto the back straight.
It's certainly a picturesque track, isn't it?
Well, you know
Lovely
what I'd like
location.
on a picturesque track is a gnome, maybe a flamingo or two.
And we know they're scattered around somewhere.
And
Oh,
Kelly
look at
looking
that.
inside again. Can he make it stick? Is he on? He's still just behind. There's about space for 2 cars there, and there's 2 cars going through.
Tranter is carrying a lot of speed despite going round the outside.
There's a lot of confidence these 2 guys have in their cars.
Absolutely. One thing I have just noticed there is Burnett is now behind them, and where is David Lyne? He's now 6 seconds off the pack. Has he? He must have had a spin.
Oh, he's keeping up to the front pace in this. He was chasing Kelly for a long time, but 6 seconds behind. Yeah, there must have been an incident there. Hopefully not terminal. He looks to be maintaining that gap.
Another one further back as well, with Winslade's back down in 7th now, instead of the 4th place he was running earlier. So, here's our spin. That's Lyne going round in T2.
Manages to stay out of trouble with any without collecting any other cars, unlike some others, but that does explain where that time's gone.
Dixon on the grass, and there's the wall.
That's a big impact there.
Yeah, just like I was saying, if you get on the grass, it's gonna throw you at the wall.
That car crabbing a little bit there, isn't it? We've got here now.
Winslade in the wall, running wide up.
And then that's going to cost so much time to recover from that. He'll be kicking himself.
Yeah.
Which explains why Kimberly and Miller are now in 4th and 5th.
How is Miller's car still running with that much? The amount of incidents he's been in today.
Indeed, yeah. Now he's in the looking to get 4th place. Got 7 minutes to go. Any of these 3 could catch a podium if we have another incident from Lyne or the top 2. And you've got Jones spinning in the back.
That's a shame because as I said before, I think Jones has had a really solid run this week.
And Winslade's taking his position back. It's unfortunate from Jones.
And Winslade has got Tranter right behind him to put a lap on him. So they're trying to lap P6 now.
We've got most of the pack here on this small track all bunched up in one section now.
Dixon recovering to the pit through a repair.
Yeah. Batty and Dixon really having a struggle this week.
So Tranter goes through, and Kelly will need to get past Winslade in a serious hurry if he wants to get back onto the back of Tranter.
Well, Lyne will be happy with this. He'll be reducing the gap ever so slightly. If the top 2 end up having an incident, passing the back markers, lapping them, Winslade going wide there, then Lyne's in the perfect position to benefit. Oh, very brave there from Burnett.
Yes, but he is, but he's still got to get past Burnett himself and Gary Jones. It's quite a bent rear end there on Winslade's car from that impact on the West Bend. On board Lyne now.
Jones
letting him through.
He gets lapped. And Miller, there's an incident. Miller is in the pits. Maybe the damage was terminal.
So we get a replay of that one then.
So we've got the top 3, yeah. We've got Tranter and Kelly still ahead, and Lyne's reduced the gap by about a second with all the back markers and lapping that's been going on. Burnett sticking with the leaders as well, 1 lap down albeit, but he'll be happy that he managed to keep pace with everybody. And is that Winslade going wide there on the grass?
Have a look. Yes, it must have been. He's falling down the order, and
that's not the way you take that corner.
No, there's not a straight panel on that car left.
Oh, he's going to try and limp it back to the pits. Hopefully, he'll be frustrated with himself. I'm sure. Oof, it can't look like it's going straight, going right. Wow.
And all this has paid dividends for Burnett now, who is back up to 5th after his poor start, and then he had that huge incident with Hankin. I apologise, and T2 early doors. So
We'll be
This
looking
is
at
where-
this thinking he's been fighting with the top three 1 lap down, and now he's looking at Kimberley, who doesn't really have the pace this week, and maybe could even catch him before the end of the race.
Let's just take a look at the fastest laps. So Kimberley's done a 47.0, Burnett 45.8. So that's quite a pace difference.
I've got about 7 odd laps remaining, so you never know. It's 11 seconds. That's Kimberley's best lap as well. Last lap 47.3, and yeah, it's going to get enthralling by the end. Hell of a recovery from Burnett.
Well, yeah, fair play to him. He just hasn't given it up, has he?
No, and he'll be enjoying the view of this battle for first as well. Kelly's still without a way through. And Tranter hasn't put a foot wrong to allow Kelly that opportunity.
Absolutely. I'd say it was Kelly who was looking the more ragged of the two this week, which is unusual because he's been a super clinical driver across the past several rounds. Apart from obviously his hour of horror that was Summit Point.
Well, he'd be annoyed that for himself from having it wasn't exactly a slow start. Tranter had an absolute rocket, but ever since then he's refused to give up the lead despite how hard Kelly pushes him.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, Tranter just zero wheel spin and boom, off the line he went.
Burnett too, with his poor start, which let him be in the middle of the pack for the instance later on in the first few laps, and recovered up to 5th, but we're thinking what might have been. Line with his slip up, if Burnett was there to take advantage like he has, I'd say Burnett's almost got a 3rd place in spirit.
I'd have to agree with you.
But 5th place isn't too bad after how bad it was after those first few laps.
It's not too shabby at all. And yeah, we're looking at about 10
Kelly's
seconds.
going very wide there.
10 seconds between Kimberley and Burnett. Probably not quite enough.
It's a big ask.
Kimberley,
one of the few drivers, well, the top 4 have rarely had an incident. Line went and had his little spin, lost a few seconds, but everyone else really caught up in something or other in this race.
Yeah, so let's just have a run down the order now. We've got Mark Tranter running first, as he has from the beginning. Gavin Kelly second, David Line third. Replay here. That's why Miller went in the pits. Wow, what a crash.
It's an effort to try and get in the pits that way, Miller, but that is not the correct way to take the pit entry.
For style points, though, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Speaking of style points.
Oh, big one from Winslade again.
Oh, he's trying to take off.
Up. Nearly gets Line there.
Yeah, Line will be happy to. Yeah, that's where we saw the end of this, didn't we? Line will be happy he didn't get picked up on that.
Winslade clearly deciding to explore that top chicane, which isn't in use today.
Well, maybe he's thinking it's time for his Joker lap.
Yeah, but the way that car is crabbing is just unbelievable. Must be a broken rear axle.
We've got here. Yeah,
so
2 cars into that corner isn't the ideal way to do it.
Hankin and Jones. Hankin maybe slightly over optimistic there.
The gnome not providing all the luck anymore for Jones. Still 6th place. It's a solid running for him.
Gnome luck in West Bend. And there's Winslade. He's going to be going 2 laps down now on Tranter and Kelly. Let's hope he's seen the blue flags.
Well, it's unfortunate for him to be 2 laps down because it was a solid start of the race, but it's relentless, this track. You're going at it the whole time trying to pick your perfect line, and if you get a little bit wide like Kelly just did there, it can really punish you. As he's found a few times.
Right there, yeah. And Tranter to the outside, well, that is risking your race if you do that.
Tranter's in no mood to wait there. He wants to get a little bit more of a gap.
I don't think Winslade even saw him coming there.
Such is the pace of these leaders. So what have we got? Burnett 7 seconds behind Kimberley. Doubtful to get that now. It looked promising, but he's still got a lot of pace. And can Kelly see a way past Tranter? He hasn't so far, but the pressure on these last couple of laps.
So Winslade having another wild moment there, just as Burnett was coming past him. So if he hasn't clouted him.
But around this point where Tranter had about a spin last time, so trying to catch up on ledge here. Hopefully he doesn't. No, the top two make it through. Lawrence gets out of the way lovely, and Burnett gives a little kiss there to Winslade as he passes.
Yeah. So the timer has run down, and we should be on the last lap.
I'm sure Kelly would like this to go and never stop. He's hopefully Tranter would have a spin, because Kelly, well, the top two have been faultless, haven't they?
They have, but the tyres must be absolutely hammered and overheating now, because so many high-speed corners. Wearing those fronts down. There's Kimberley across the line.
Kimberley crossing the line on the same lap, just about. And we're persevering. The last lap.
So we're going around one more time.
They forgot to get the checkered flag out, I think.
Must be the case. So
this gives Kelly another opportunity to overtake one more lap. There's not much in the way of places to overtake now. That first corner is the place to do it if you're going to do it anywhere. And Kelly's a second behind now. Tranter's put his foot down.
And Line's got an acre of traffic to get through. I mean, 7 seconds down as well. There's no chance of getting back onto this battle.
But if I was Line, I'd be happy with that third place. And Tranter
across the line they come then. Tranter for the win. Well done, Mark Tranter. Second race in the championship and takes the win from Gavin Kelly, the championship leader.
We've got a championship on our hands now, I think, don't we?
We have. And, dirty Winslade once again taking that line across the line. Donuts for Tranter on the grass there.
Well, it's been a gripping race. Not much grip on the grass there, but wow. Really entertaining once again.
It's been a thriller. I think there's been some entertaining battles, a couple of huge accidents again. I feel like I said that last week, but it seems to be a bit of a mark of our radical championship. So let's have a look at the final race standings then. Mark Tranter taking the win from Gavin Kelly in second, David Line in third. Jim Kimberley comes home in fourth place ahead of William Burnett in fifth. Gary Jones finishes 6th place ahead of Lawrence Aaron Jenkins in 7th. Gareth Winslade finishes 8th with Tony Hankin in 9th. Then we have Rob Miller, the first of the retirements. He finishes 10th. Paul Dixon finishes 11th and Stephen Batty 12th place. And if we now have a look at the championship standings, let's see what that's done to our standings after round 5. Gavin Kelly retains his lead, but David Line back up to second place, and Mark Tranter looks straight into third place now after only 2 rounds. So
he's embarrassing the rest of us, isn't he?
He's putting them to shame, yeah. Tony Hankin in 4th and Rob Miller in 5th. Jim Kimberley in 6th. Very tight battle there in the mid card of this pack. Burnett 7th, 8th Batty, 9th Winslade, 10th Jones. 11th is the Ledge, and Paul Dixon is in 12th place in the championship. So, what do we think is going to happen next in this battle?
Well, you just can't say now. Kelly and Tranter seem to have a real fight going on at the front here, but I mean, you can't really rule out a lot of the guys. Batty came in and did so well at his debut, and he's been unfortunate today with his jump start, but he could have really been up amongst it too to put his mark in the championship. It's anyone's guess on how this goes now. So we can look at the championship table there, and Kelly looks like he's running away with it, and I don't think that's the case really. When you knock off a few of the results as we go later in the season, the ones to forget like now, and Batty coming in last here because of his retirement, he could elevate himself up. And Tranter's clearly got a second and a first place on his record now. Congratulations for his win. This championship's got a lot to give.
It has, and I have to say I'm expecting Rob Miller, Will Burnett, Stephen Batty, all 3 of those to be taking the fight to Kelly and Tranter, and of course David Line. I mean, almost overlooking him there in second place in the championship, but he's always there or thereabouts. And next week, of course, we're going to Daytona Road Course. So it's the 4th roval in our championship so far. It's the big one, the one that everyone knows in the world, I guess. Super fast track, super challenging corners, very bumpy. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Well, Jim, thanks.
It's as entertaining as these ones. It's going to be great again. There's not been a poor race so far, I don't think.
No, this should be another great battle. So that was round 5 of the Limited Adhesion Radical Championship presented by Make Real Media. Jim, thanks for calling it with me. Great time as ever spending time with you.
I look forward to the next race, and likewise.
Excellent stuff. Thanks then. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.